They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
She's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch.
Sally.
Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future. Yes, indeed. Now the witch is back. Sorry about the sound mix up then. Hopefully you can all hear me very, very loud and clear. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Authoric. We do tarot reading on this channel. Beyond Authoric? Did I just say beyond? I don't even know. That's not even a word, Lisa. It's not even a frigging word. Good evening to Beyond Authentic. This is where we do a tarot reading. I'm going to be going through till about maybe 8:15, about that sort of time this evening. I've got dinner to do for the doggos and stuff. So yes, I have my coffee on standby. I have the Agatha All Along deck on standby. So yay, this is going to be good. So for those of you that are joining me for the first time, how do you get a reading on this channel, either today or in future streams? Dead simple. All you need to do is wait until you hear this noise. That's the first sound I've heard all evening, to be honest. That wasn't coming out of my own mouth. The speakers don't play when the videos are playing, which is why I didn't realise at first that there was two playing, so apologies for that. Anyway, when you hear the next air horn, it means that I am opening a round. Once that round is open, it is time to pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. One of those will get selected by the keeper of the questions, one of our lovely moderators, and they will send me out the details of who gets that reading, and I will then read for that person. The readings we do on this stream are 3-card readings, unless you particularly want a longer reading. If you do want a longer reading, those are available through our through the, what's it called, Superchats. So if you want to guarantee that you get a reading, all you need to do is send a super chat of any amount, right? It can be $1, it can be 50 pence, whatever it is, any amount. That will get you the next available position. Okay, so you'll do the next reading I do will be for you. If you want one of those longer readings, if you donate more than £8 or $10 US, that will get you that longer reading. Okay, I've tried to keep that as cheap as possible. It is completely ridiculous compared to what I would normally charge if I was at an event. However, this is the YouTubes. Everyone is, you know, what's it they say? Times are tough and friends are few. So hopefully on this channel we can make it a little bit easier for you to get a longer reading. I've been doing tarot now for 31 years. I know, right? I did start when I was 6 though, so that makes sense of that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, started when I was 6, as you can understand. So yay, that's how it works. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, when we open up a round, please don't put tons of information in there. Please don't flood us. Please don't spam, Control and V, copy paste your question. It's not going to make things any easier for you. In fact, one of the moderators is likely to kick you off the stream or ban you or block you or whatever they need to do. So then that is how things work. On this channel, we've got some amazing moderators. Their names are in the chat in blue, and they have a spanner next to their names. That's how you can see who those wonderful people are. And yeah, so then let's crack on. Before I do, I've played the housekeeping, haven't I? I've done that, so I don't need to do that. So then, in fact, I think... Is that all the things? Is that the things I normally do, mods? I think it is, isn't it? I don't know why I'm looking now. I'm looking on completely the wrong bit. Housekeeping. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Right then. So let's have a look at the chat, and then we'll start a round. As I say, I'm only going to go through for about an hour tonight because I've got to feed the doggos, let them out again, and everything else. As of now, there's not a lot of fireworks going off in the background right now. There's been a couple, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. So hopefully things will be okay. Good evening, Melinda, my darling. I hope you are well. Thank you, Ed. Good evening, Leanne. Hello. You pop up on this evening to help to support your channel. Thank you, my darling. We've just hit that 1500 mark on this channel, which is awesome. You can hear me now, Melinda. Okie dokie. Hi, Dormouse. Dormouse says, hello, everyone. Dormouse, you're so lovely. Ed, I sound wonderful, do I? Thank you very much. 18 months. Good Lord. Good Lord. Yes. You've been busy this week, Dormouse. Yes. Loads of fireworks there. Oh, God, don't say that. Don't say that. Right then. Do we think it's time? Shall we officially do this? The round is open. Please do go ahead and do one of those YouTubey things. Pop your question into that there live chat, starting with the word question. Send your question in, or if you want to guarantee your next, you can send it in as a super chat. Remember, on this channel, any money that is raised either through memberships or that is raised through donations, the super chat donations when we set this live, 30% is taken by that there YouTube as part of their cut for providing the platform, and then whatever's left, once we've done all the things and taxes and everything else, whatever's left, we send 10% to the PDSA, which is the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals here in the UK. They are an amazing charity, and they help out people that need veterinary care for their animals that might not be able to afford it there and then. They help with that. They also are the ones that help pick up poorly animals, wild animals, and quite often if somebody hits a dog or a cat or something, they are the ones that will provide that emergency care free of charge. So yes, if you ever find an injured animal on the side of the road, for instance, PDSA is normally where you would take it, or sometimes the RSPCA, but it tends to be PDSA. And they are amazing. So we support those for 10%, and also another 10% goes to the bladder cancer charity, which is Bladder Cancer UK, because my journey over the last couple of years, over the last 4 years, I think 3 years, with bladder cancer. So that is what I have been dealing with there. Right then, I'm going to hit this magic button. I like starting with these, with the waterfall. I think it's a very relaxing thing to watch. So get your questions in. This will be starting. The next round starts now.
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Do have a wee look. What is going on with my screen today? What have I done with it? Hang on. The overlay. Why is that doing that? Oh, have I just moved? Have I just done something? I have, haven't I? I've just done something. Hang on. Let me correct it. Hold on, everybody. Look at this. Technical Lisa coming in strong, breaking things. There we go. So then, let's have a look. Keeper of the questions. Who am I reading for? Who am I reading for the first round? Let's have a look. Everything is now. My box is back. That's good. I know it's the wrong box because I've got That's Me in the corner on it. Why have I done that? What have I done? I've obviously pressed something wrong this evening. There we go. That's fixed it. That's fixed it. So then, keeper of the questions, who have we got for the first reading tonight? Linda. Okie dokie. Linda. Yay, I've got your question here, Linda. Thank you very much. Now listen, if your name is not Linda, please go ahead and do the select and copy. So select and copy and wait until you hear the next round opening and then pop your question back in the live chat. You have to do it every round because sometimes what happens is people will put their question in and then go off and watch something else, and then by the time they've come back, we're on a completely different, part of the stream, and then they say, oh, I put my question in at 7:05. Why wasn't I read for? Because that's not how it works on this channel. There you go. Hopefully that makes sense. Linda, just before I do your reading, I've got to say good evening to HS, who's popped in. Good evening, Shannon91. Good evening to Shen. Good evening to Linda. Good evening to... who else am I saying good evening to? I think I've said hello to everybody there. Shannon91. Hello, my darling. I will read for you very shortly, my darling. You will get the next reading after this one I'm doing for Linda. Okay, my darling? So thank you very much for your super chat. I will get to you straight after this one. So then, I said hello to everybody. We've done the doodah. Tonight's deck I'm using is... There we go. Is the Agatha All Along deck. It is the one that went alongside the Marvel series, which I adore. Absolutely adore this deck. It is a beautiful deck, and actually I get quite a lot from it, both from the images themselves but also from knowing the series so well. I think I've seen the series about 4 times at this point, 5 times. It's a regular go-to for me. So then yeah, indeed, that is one of the things that I do often sit and watch because I enjoy it so much. Right then, so by the way, if you haven't done already, please do the YouTubey things. Give this channel a thumbs up, all of that, the like and subscribe, and then ding your bell and make sure that you hit that bell hard and change your settings to all so that YouTube notifies you whenever I go live or upload a video. There are going to be some more tarot review videos coming up, hopefully before too long. Right then, Linda, as always, I am cleansing and bringing in the always lovely Wispy, who is my dragon elemental creation, servitor, egregore, whatever you want to call it. There is a whole podcast episode dedicated to what my dragons are, and that is linked in the live chat. It's also permanently linked down below. So then, Wispy, Linda wants to know, what are Yaman's feelings for them, please? So what are Yaman's feelings for Linda? That's what we want to know. Oh, that card very determinedly shifted. Right now, hang on. I will, is that just one card? Yeah. I will explain this. So this card is one of the ones that I have to go full screen and explain, because this card that just popped over does not mean what it says on the front of it. Okay, it is not the scary card that it appears to be. The card that just flipped is the devil card. This does not mean Satan, Beelzebub, Old Nick, Old Scratch. This does not mean Lucifer, the fallen one, the evil one, anything like that. All of that malarkey comes from the Bible. The tarot is not about that. The tarot is all about iconography and imagery. And what the devil here means, it's that signing a contract that you are stuck in. This case, we've got a couple. Quite often you see them chained together, as in marriage contract. You've got this element of the devil being in the details, the devil being materialism, and that idea of always wanting more, and temptation. Those are the things that this card represents. It doesn't represent an evil entity, evil lord, evil dark thingy from a demon dimension, from hell, from anything like that. It doesn't represent that, because in tarot that doesn't exist. It's not something that is acknowledged. The devil is literally there for that temptation, materialism, right? So the fact that this card comes up does not mean that the devil is going to visit you. A lot like the death card, it doesn't mean someone's about to snuff it. It means the end of a journey, the start of a new one, a rebirth. That's what these cards represent. Okay, now that's clear. This has come up in as your clarifying card. So I would say, Linda, that Yaman's feelings for you, there is something here you need to be very, very, very aware of. There are some temptations happening that maybe are blinding you. This is where the devil's going to be absolutely in the details. This is where you need to make sure everything is as it seems, right? So whatever the next three cards say, keep that critical thinking head on, right? This is where you need to act with your head as well as your heart and your nethers. Do you know what I mean? You need to absolutely 100% be thinking through things, because this idea of temptation, this idea of being kind of, be careful what you wish for, almost being, you know, having that element of being granted and signing up for, and contracts, and ending up being locked into something. Be careful. Right, so then we're going to go with where you are now, which is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, reversed. What you need to know, the Two of Wands, and what the outcome is, Judgment. Okay, so out of a 3-card reading with a clarifying, you've got 2 major arcana cards. That in and of itself is interesting. So the Six of Pentacles. Sixes for me are largely about community, family, people around you, things like that. So when we're asking about what are Yaman's feelings for you, there's this element of work, effort, and growth. It feels like, to be honest, Whisper, give me that again. It feels like with this card, I want to say this is something that you wanted, right? You want it's almost like, Linda, I want to say that you want Yaman to have positive feelings for you, right? You want there to be some sort of friendship or more there. That's what you want to have. But it's almost like, I don't know whether you are both, whether this is a work connection, which if it's Pentacles would absolutely make sense. But it's almost like I'm struggling to describe it, because what I'm sensing with this is this idea of not idolization, but almost this idea of you've wanted a connection with Yaman for so long that it's almost become abstract. Does that make sense? It's almost like what you want is somehow so this card, hang on, let me do it this way around, because here we go. If I do that and then if I do that, I don't know whether that was a mod messaging. I didn't see the message come up. It's almost like in the Agatha series, Jennifer, who this card is, she is bound, so she doesn't have her powers, so she has to make do for like however many years, like 90 years, 80 years, 100 years, whatever it was. She has to learn to be a witch without her powers, right? So she questions all the way, what use am I if I don't have my powers? What can I do if I don't have my powers? All of this malarkey. And then when she gets them back, it's in the series, it's a good thing, but by getting them back, it's got all this sort of emotional connotation to it, and lots of other, I'm trying to not give spoilers, but lots of things are revealed, and I don't know whether this is a thing that you have real mixed, I would say mixed feelings about Yamam's feelings for you, but it almost feels like it's work, it's hard work, it's tough, it's like you had to make the best of a bad situation, which you did, or you've done, or you're doing. And that's kind of, right. Thank you, Wispy. It's kind of like you've got to the point where you don't know whether you want what you want Yamam to feel anymore. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like, I don't know whether you are together, have been together, will be together. I don't think you will be together, but it's almost like there's this distance thing, and you've seen somebody from afar for a long time and you've really wanted to meet them, but you haven't done, and you've got really comfortable with having this connection being at a distance, and you kind of don't want almost for that to become an IRL thing. And then all of a sudden it's like this is inching forward and there's this whole mix of stuff going on. It feels very much like, because it's work, effort, growth, and because this card is reversed, it feels very much like, do you know what, in the long run, this probably isn't going to work in the way that you want it to, in the way that it could. Does that make sense somehow? I don't know, I'm a bit waffly with this one. It's really, the fact that it's a Pentacles and your questions about feelings, it's really kind of like a bit flowing, a bit throwing me. The other thing it could be is that Yaman puts work above everything else. It could be just simply that simple. Anyhow, what you need to know, Two of Wands. Twos for me are always about couples. This card is really interesting in that it's the Two of Wands. It isn't the Two of Cups, which would be the emotional center. So it's almost like you two are friends and work better as friends than anything else. Because for me, Wands, it's all about self-confidence, self-esteem, and all of those things. But often when we're looking at a couple, when Wands comes up, it's very much about friendships. It isn't about romantic relationships. So when you're talking about what are Yamam's feelings for you, I think that what you need to know is you probably work better as friends than anything else. So if you haven't gone there yet, I put that in inverted commas, hopefully you can see that in the little box, gone there yet. If you haven't gone there yet, then keep it on a friendship basis, because it feels almost like the minute you start getting bedroom stuff involved, it's going to get very complicated. And again, it feels like this is a journey that the two of you need to almost navigate somehow, because that's the whole point of this card. You can see we've got this long thing, but yeah, oops, sorry, hit the microphone. Genuinely, it's given me this idea of friends but no benefits, if that makes sense. And then you've got, especially because we've got this devil card, so it's almost like okay, Wispy, thank you. It's almost like you are friends that have crossed that line into friends with benefits, and then you're both trying to work out where does that leave you. Does that make sense? So it's almost like, has this ruined a friendship? Should we try a relationship? Is that going to make things too weird? Is that going to affect things too much? Do you know what I mean? It almost feels like that it's like, if you haven't crossed that line, keep it as friends, would be the advice on the cards, because this devil in the details, temptation, this idea of, it's like this idea of marriage here is, I don't think you've gone there, and I don't think you will go there, but it's almost like this prospect of the two of you could work out really well, but you work really well as friends, and if you try and flip that story, it feels very much like that connection won't be there, if that makes sense. So then you've got judgment coming up in the, what is the outcome, what is the future, what is the potential to come. This judgment is very much about, in a standard deck, it's the angel blowing the horn and allowing the souls of the departed to rise up to heaven, and then judging those souls. In this case, we've got Agatha taking the powers of the other witches. Now, that isn't necessarily her choice. She falls into that because that's how she gets her powers. She is a succubus, if you like. She's a psychic vampire. She's a witch whose her abilities and powers and life depends on the powers of others. What she hasn't learned at this point is that she can control that to a certain extent. She doesn't have to take everything. However, judgment, the card itself for judgment, is all about this idea of judging yourself, judging the relationship in a higher, from on high, almost like, I don't know whether the two of you maybe tried something and then everybody around you was like, oh my God, what are you doing? Or whether it was almost like you needed to trust your inner judgment, and that little voice inside was going, this doesn't quite work. This doesn't quite work. If that makes sense. So yeah, that would be, right, to answer your question, there's nothing here that is very suggestive that Yamin wants a relationship. There's nothing here that suggested that Yamin wants friends with benefits, unless, of course, it's one of those things that, were you to offer friends with benefits, Yamin would jump at. Do you know what I mean? It's like some people just have that personality that they can deal with things like that different to others. It does feel as if, oh, thank you, Wispy. Right, do you know what it feels like? You gave it a go and it didn't work out. So I don't know whether that's you've tried a relationship in the past that didn't work out, or whether you've dropped some hints that it didn't work out, or Yaman's maybe dropped some hints. Maybe you haven't got together, but Yaman's kind of gone, we're friends, but what if, and you've either ignored that hint or you haven't run with it. So it's either that you have crossed that line and either it changed the relationship too much and you had to back away, or you've purposely ignored it when Yaman's gone, oh, just think in another universe the two of us could be together. That's the vibe I'm getting, right? Is that Yaman's almost like we've moved beyond that, and either it hasn't worked, or he's there that, or they, she, he, them, ZZ or whatever, have accepted that it's not going to work. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. This was a really long-winded one because none of the romance cards came up. None of the majors were really helpful in terms of feelings. None of the emotional cards came up. And what did come up was very much open to interpretation, say. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question, Linda. Right, let me do that one off. There we go. Right, the chat. Oh, there you go then. You tried it. Every time I try to read it on small one. You tried it, didn't work out, but you still have a lot of feelings for each other. He's now like your best friend. There you go then. There you go then. That is it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. I think he also is probably on that page of we make better friends. I do think though that if you were to say, hey Yaman, you know how, let me put it this way. I think if you were to say, I've got an itch that I just need scratching, he would probably be up for maybe an occasional scratch. I don't think he's got feelings for you, but I really do get this vibe of there is still a spark there, and that's going to be difficult because if you're feeling that spark as well, it's very easy with that devil card, that temptation card. It's very easy to try and get back into that situation, and then you absolutely risk the friendship, because to put it on the line once and to realise that you're better off as friends, not as partners, and to come out of that partnership back into a friendship situation, that is great. I wouldn't necessarily risk doing that again a second time. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, let me have a look. Good evening, Firebird Paradise. Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, can you do the YouTubey things, the subscribey, likey, bell things? Yeah, thank you, Holland. I'm just going back up, scrolling back up to do that. You don't work together. He's an ex. Right, that makes sense. DL. Okay, good evening, DL. Good evening, DL. Just wanted to thank everyone again for last week's kindness. Mum got through her surgery fine and is beginning her recovery. Hope the week has treated you all kindly. Unfortunately, this week has been very tough for us, but thank you very much for your kind words. Lioness, good evening to you. Right, Shannon91, here we go. Do I stay in my marriage? Oh, a simple question. Just a simple question. Right, let's have a look at that for you, my darling. Let's have a look at that for you. Right, I've got messages popping up all over the place from the mods and also one from my husband. Why have I just dipped that? Right, there we go. Pop that there. Well, I'm looking for the chat now. The chat has disappeared off my screen. Why can't I see the chat? There we go. I've got it. Hurrah! Right then, Shannon. So let's do the things for you, my darling. We'll swap over to this screen. There we go. Leave my little Lego me set up there nicely. Do I have any coffee left? Yes, I do. Right then, so I will take a slurp of my coffee while I ring the bell. How about that? Right then, so there we go. So I'm just very aware, as somebody who is neurodivergent, the sound of somebody slurping or eating, oh, I just want to punch them. I really do. It's completely out of my control. There's nothing I can do about it, whether it is my my other half, whether it is the doggos, whether it is somebody on the bus, somebody on a video, even if it's me on my other channel, where me and Rufus, on our other channel I should say, where we review, we talk about our weight loss journey on Slimming World and all of that, and we do videos and we do a taste tester. So we film a recipe and then we take the first bite of it. Having to edit that, where it is just me going, and making mouth noises, oh my God, I want to punch past me in the face. Something about it, it's called misophonia or misophonia. It is horrendous. So I hugely try and minimize the slurpy noises where I can. So that's why, if you ever wonder why I do that, that's why. Right then, Linda. So Wispy, Linda wants to know, does she stay in her marriage? Not Linda, sorry, Shannon wants to know, does Shannon 91, does she stay in her marriage? Oh yes, I can see in the chat. Hang on a second. We've got to do one of these. Can everybody please flood the chat with doodahs? We want party poppers, balloons, cakes, birthday cakes, because I believe it is tomorrow that is Holland's birthday. Holland, our moderator. Happy birthday to Holland. Happy birthday to Holland. It is Holland's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. So yes, very many happy returns for Holland for tomorrow. Right then, let's have a look, Shannon. Do you stay in your marriage? I'm going to do you a 7-card reading. This is the Traveller's Quest from popularised in that their series Agatha All Along on Disney Plus, streaming now. You can go and watch it. It's very good. I recommend it wholeheartedly if you haven't watched it. It's very good. So I'm using the Agatha deck to do the Agatha spread. I know, right? I'm such a fangirl. It's so ridiculous. Oh my gosh, Holland, look. Look in that chat. It is surrounded by birthday cakes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. There we go. Right. I'm going to move the chat now because I will get distracted. And this is a very important question for Shannon. Right then, Shannon. Done your drop? Let's go. So, this first card represents you, the Traveller. Okay, so what do we get for you, my darling? The Queen of Swords reversed. Oh my gosh, this is a really difficult time for you. Swords is all about hurdles, obstacles, challenges. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who can be a little bit aloof. But this is reversed. So it's almost like you... I don't know whether you're feeling quite cold or maybe you don't feel the warmth in the relationship anymore. But it's almost like you're finding yourself in this position. This isn't by choice. It's like you've wound up here. You can see we've got this image of Elphaba from Wicked, and the thing is, in the story of Wicked, I need to reread the book because it's amazing. In the story of Wicked, she isn't a wicked witch until she takes on that role. And they just hate her and despise her and scapegoat her because she's different. And as somebody who is different, I know that feeling all too well, especially at the moment, political times. And so this is for you. It feels like you're getting that same... You're getting the blame for things that might not be your fault, and now you're finding yourself in this position, if that makes sense. your quest, where you are headed. We've got the Six of Cups reversed. So Cups is your emotional suit. Cups is all about our feelings, our emotions, how we love, how we're loved. And this is about the people we care about. Sixes for me are about community. Again, another reversal card. So this is saying that your path ahead, I don't know whether there are, if you were to leave the marriage, whether that would create a huge amount of family upheaval, with, you know, like the family in the biggest term, and your community, your friend circles, all of that. But it feels as if moving forward there are going to be some issues, and it almost feels, regardless of whether you stay or not, there's going to be impacts in that wider, in your circle, whatever that circle means for you, whether it's, you know, family with a small f, family with a capital F, like the people around you, the people in your life, there is going to be a fallout. And that's natural. If a relationship struggles, that is natural, to be fair. The path behind, so where you've come from, what's been happening. My gosh, another reversal card, the Four of Wands reversed. And fours, if it was this way up, it would be talking about stability. It would be talking about things being stable, things ticking over, things being kind of in a good place. When it's reversed, the four is talking about being stuck. Okay, it's not stability, it's stagnation. And if you've seen this series, this moment in that series, we can see this demon element here that is representing, you know, a personal thing, a personal demon that Alice has been carrying around for the longest time, in this fear and this connection. I think for you, I don't know whether things are completely over from your perspective, but it feels like they've been pretty dry, pretty rancid for a while. Now, I always say this is like a body of water, you know, where it's become stagnant and you've got the mozzies there. It feels like it feels like things have become stagnant. The life, the flow, the energy of the relationship has become very much very much stuck, very much repetitive, Groundhog Day. And day by day, the joy's gone out of it. Day by day, all of that has been whittling away, and it's really taking its toll on your confidence and on your connection with your partner, with your spouse. And I think this isn't a cup card, so it's not that the love isn't there, but it's like the love isn't enough. And because of this stagnancy, because of this lack of growth, because of this constant sort of chipping away, and almost this slow decline, it's like whatever your positive feelings are can't shore up that relationship. Does that make sense? Let's have a look at what's ahead. So the path ahead of you, the Five of Wands reversed. Every card is reversed, my darling. The Five of Wands is that moment where you've got to make some decisions. You've got to look at where you've been and look at where you're going and make some really tough choices. And this is where you're at. This is what's to come. And because it's reversed, it's like you don't want to do this. You want to try, and I think you've been putting this off for a long, long, long time. Does that make sense? It feels like whether you've asked other people or whether you've, whatever's gone on, it feels like you have been trying to deal with this by yourself for the longest time, and you don't know what to do. And it's like, you've got to make some decisions. You've got to try and move forward. I don't want to say you've put it off, but it's almost like this is not somewhere where you want to be. This is not something you want to be doing, but you've got to, because this 5 is reversed. It's like, it's not where you want to be, but it's where you are, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Certain things need dealing with, and this is one of them, if that makes sense. 5s are really good moments to pause, refresh, look at what's important, re-establish what you want out of a situation and what's right for both of you, and to then move forward. So it may be that the marriage is in significant trouble. It doesn't mean the marriage has to end. It could be that with some counselling and some work and some open conversations and all of that things could be repaired. But that does take 2 people, and it does take a very open, very honest and very difficult series of discussions about how you got to this place and how you can move forward. And I think for a lot of people that is something that is almost too much for them to deal with. But this is what the 5 is saying here. It's like, it's not fun, but this might be what you've got to do, and this decision is there. It's got to be made. Does that make sense? This path ahead, it's got to be made. Right, the obstacles coming into play. The Empress. Whose mother is the obstacle, or whose motherhood is the obstacle? This maternal element. The Empress is wonderful. She's my favourite card in the deck. She's all about abundance and nurturing and caring. When she's coming up here as an obstacle, it really is saying that this is somebody's mother, or it could be if you've got children, you as a mother worrying about how it's going to affect the children, worrying about how things like that are going to come into play. But motherhood, this idea of the maternal, the caregiver, the nurturer, this is coming up as an obstacle. It could also represent the idea of marriage. Does that make sense? Let me just, I think, there we go. So it could almost be the idea of marriage, the idea of having this really close familial connection. It's almost that is the issue for somehow. I don't know quite what that is. Does that make sense? I don't know quite. Yeah, I don't think it's the abundance element that comes with the Empress. I don't think it's that. My heart is weighing very heavily on me right now. It feels like the second this card came up, and my brain went to mother rather than abundance, which is where it normally goes with the Empress. It's like you've been sticking it out for the kids. You've been sticking it out because of maybe your mother. There's something here around this idea of, what is it? It's the obstacles. I don't think it's mother-in-law, because mother-in-law would be more maybe it's telling that I think this way, but I would say mother-in-law would be more of a priestess card, could be mother-in-law if you've got a really good relationship with your mother-in-law, if she sort of stepped into that role almost. But it really does feel as if this is either you've got kids, or the idea of having kids with your spouse is the obstacle here. Does that make sense? It could be that you've tried for kids, or you've looked at adopting, or and when I say kids, I don't just mean human babies. I mean also like fur children, fur babies. Like we've got 3 staffies. If anything was to happen between me and my other half, I don't know what would happen with the doggos, because we've got 3 of them. How do you split 3 doggos between 2 of you? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how any of that would work, because they are my children, they are my fur babies, and I love them all, especially the troubled one. Do you know what I mean? So as an obstacle, I think this is something that's really playing on your mind, the idea of motherhood, the idea of that maternal nurturing energy. 6 is the windfall. So this is almost like the upside, the silver lining to everything. And we've got strength. Okay, that is very telling in and of itself. So you've got the strength card. You are going to come out of this a lot stronger. You're going to find that inner core, that inner steel, that iron strength. You're going to find that through this, right? This is both emotional strength coming from the Empress, and that idea of, you know, the strongest animal in the, I was going to say jungle, it's not the jungle, but the strongest animal on the plains of Africa isn't the lion, it's the lioness. Because you go near her cubs, she will fight to the death to try and save her cubs. And that part of that motherhood card, that strength is really coming in. Again, it doesn't matter whether we're talking about human children or four-legged or two-legged or finned, however you want to describe them, children, animal children, fur babies. That strength card coming straight after this Empress, I think you are going to find this inner core of strength that you are going to, you probably don't even know it's there. You probably don't even know it's there. If this is accurate, right, and this relationship has been kind of in stagnant mode for quite a while, and it hasn't been going anywhere, and it's just been almost that death of a thousand cuts type feeling, if that is what has been happening for a while, then yeah, the strength that you are going to have coming out the other side, whichever way it goes, whether you both put that time, effort, openness into healing and repairing and moving forward within the marriage, or whether you call it a day and you, if your spouse isn't willing to put that effort in, then it's almost like it's a do or die, a make or break. It's like we need to put all this work in and see if it's salvageable. If not, you're out of there. And I know that's, I honestly don't mean it to sound as flippant as that, but it really does feel as if we're at that make or break time for you. And not just, you know, you're asking for some information, you're asking a blooming gobby tarot reader on the internet, do you know what I mean? But it really does feel you're at that point where it's make or break, where genuinely, if the spouse doesn't step up right now, it's too late. And there's still one more card, but it really does feel as if you are right at that, on that knife edge right now. Literally, there's the knife edge. You're right on that knife edge of this could go either way. And almost right now, in this moment, you don't really care which way it goes. You just want things to get better. And whether that is getting better separately or getting better together, you don't really care right now. You just need it to get better. So then, the destination. Oh! Words I'm not allowed to say on the internet. The destination card. Well, I don't know why these are at such a weird angle. The destination card is the Hermit. The Hermit. So the Hermit is all about solitude. It's all about going it alone. And gosh, Wispy, if we were asking for a definitive answer as to where this is headed, we've got one. The Hermit is all about separation from wider society, going into hermitage and spending time alone, recovering, healing, learning, gaining wisdom, gaining a communion with the universe. All of these things the hermits do. In terms of, do you stay in your marriage? This card is absolutely saying that it's headed in a direction that you don't want, right? You don't want this. I think in all honesty, you have to give your spouse a chance, right? Again, I'm not a marriage counsellor. This is not counselling advice. It's not legal advice. It's not financial advice. Get all of those things in place, right? Before you make any decision, get those things in place. But I think before you call time, because the question, you're still asking that question, which means there are reasons that you still want to carry on in that relationship. You're not out of it yet. I think you've got to offer that opportunity of, let's throw one last opportunity to get some counselling support, to work through it, to see if there is a way forward together. If you've already done that, that Hermit card is where you're headed. And in that case, it feels very much like you've probably done that. You've probably given that last chance, that last attempt at rescuing it. And it could be that you're asking for confirmation of where you think you are right now, where you know you are right now. My only thing would be, I do not in any way, shape or form want you to feel like I'm urging you to give up on something if there is still that last chance. Do you know what I mean? Because I know plenty of relationships that have been teetering on that knife edge, and it took that for the other partner to say, oh, I really have been so snowed under with work, or so in my own space, or head up my own arse, or whatever it is, that I didn't realise that I was neglectful. I didn't realise that was happening. I didn't realise. And once it's been fully pointed out, they have stepped up and put the time in and the work in and the effort in, and did some counselling and worked on the relationship, and have actually then moved on together in a really unified kind of way, and really have that being on that knife edge for one partner and almost losing that relationship has really made the partnership, both people, to look at it, focus on it, see it as it truly is, and then work on it together and move forward together. And it's brought them much closer, and years later they're really, really solid. I've seen that happen. If you've already said it's now or never, this is it, last chance saloon, ... if you want to save the relationship for the kids we have, don't have, fur babies, whatever it is, if you want to save this relationship, then this is what we need, this is what I need you to do. And your spouse has said, nah, I don't think I need that. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Or they've maybe gone for one counselling session and then gone, it's not for me, this. If that's happened, you know where you're headed. And that is unhappily to the hermitude. And what I mean by unhappily is that this is not a decision that you are going to take any joy in making, right? It's not like I'm going to leave your ass and I'm going to be so much better off without you, and I've left and now I'm so happy that I've left. It's not that. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, if this is the right decision and you've attempted that last chance saloon thing, and this is the last option, is you are worse together than you would both be apart, then unhappily it is better for you both to be apart. And for the fur babies, children, whatever it is that you might have, because that Empress card is really screaming at me that you are a mother of pets or mother of children, mother of dragons. You have some sort of motherhood there. It's like, for the sake of both of you and whatever youngins you have, whatever whatever dependents you have, that's the word, that it may well be better for the two of you to be happy apart rather than miserable together. Does that make sense? I would urge, if you haven't done Last Chance Saloon, to please do that first. Obviously, if there is anything in this that is about any kind of abuse or any kind of violence, any kind of harm being done, either by you or to you, then that changes everything. Get out now, seek help now, do whatever you need to do to put yourself in a safe place. If you've got kids or pets that are being, that's happening to as well, get them into a safe place. Obviously, I am not in any way, shape or form saying, if you're in that sort of situation, to try and make it work with a person that is that horrendously toxic and abusive. If that's happening, get out, go get support, go speak to charities, friends, church, whatever it is. Get yourself out of that situation, get safe. If though it is just a relationship that is going through that really difficult patch and is at the point of either we end this or we work bloody hard to repair it, if you haven't offered that, or then maybe try that. If you've given that opportunity, then you know where you're left at. I hope that helps. I really do. I really hope that helps. My gut instinct is that you've probably given that final option. You might have even given it a couple of times and then backed off. If that is the case, that Hermit card absolutely points you that you would be better off, and probably your spouse would be better off, and whatever dependents you have would be better off if the two of you went your separate ways. My gut instinct is that you've probably already said all of that at some point in the past. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. Listen, this is not a question that is easy in any way, shape or form to ever face. Right, let me have a look. For sure, they knew when they went back and forth for 8 months on what? Oh, hang on. I'll tell you what, normally I go up in the chat from most recent to back. Yay. Happy, lots of people saying happy birthday. Is it called communal reading for a tarot reading, not directed to one person, but possibly more than one person? Every reading could possibly be, oh yeah, it could be for the collective. But absolutely, this is for Shannon, but I know that it will resonate with other people as well in a similar situation. You've been stuck at a crossroads for 2 years. Do you stay or do you leave? You continue to hold out hope, but it's like beating a dead horse. You've left for 8 months, then come back and tried to make it work. My darling. Okay. Then you've given it that last chance, and counselling didn't help and made him dwell on his problems. You've got 2 kids. Oh God. And that plays a huge role. Yeah. Everyone concerned. You promise there will be a light out of this tunnel. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Yeah, everything will be fine. It's been 2 years of this back and forth, Freddie. Yeah, absolutely, my darling. I'm so sorry you're in that position. Yeah, it feels like it might be time for an exit strategy. Again, this is where you absolutely need to get legal advice, financial advice, and counselling advice, right? If you are going to dissolve a union or a marriage, a relationship, whatever it is, if you are going to dissolve that, make sure you do it in a way that is as how can I put, I want to say that is as undamaging as possible. That is as what's the word, Lisa? As, why is my brain just saying undamaging? That isn't even a word. But that is, you know what I'm trying to say, as undamaging as possible. Brain is not functioning. As peacefully done, as magnanimously done, as kindly done, as, you know, whatever. But yeah, take those conscious decisions and take those conscious steps to end it amicably. Thank you, brain, as amicably as possible. Because if you've tried and counselling didn't work, it does make you dwell on your problems until you tackle those problems. If you don't tackle those problems, then all it is bringing them up. The whole point of counselling is that once you air that, thank you, Melinda, you're on the same wavelength, you see, amicably. Yeah, once you air those problems, the whole point is you've brought them up, now let's deal with them and process them, not to bring them up and then just dwell on it. The whole point is that you process things. And if your other half isn't able to do that right now, if your husband's not able to do that right now, then that may well be the time for you to say, okay, I've tried, I've come back, I've really tried, it's time to move on. But please make sure you do it as amicably as possible, and in a way that isn't going to leave you, your kids, or your husband without, if that makes sense. I don't mean without, you know, what I mean is, if it's a big journey unwinding a relationship and disconnecting a life from another person, it's a massive thing to undertake. And if you've done it once and then you've gone back because for whatever reason, then it may just be that you've gone back, you've given it that last shot, it didn't work, okay, that's it now. Draw the line, move on for the sake of yourself, your kids, and of course even your husband. I think everybody deserves to be as happy as they possibly can be, and to live in a life that is as good as they can possibly make it. And whatever that means for each of us is going to look very different. And in terms of the cards, that Hermit card pretty much sealed the deal. As soon as that was up for me, it was like, yep, this is where you're going to go. It's not what you want to do, but it's kind of what you need to do, and it's kind of what you need to. It's almost like you gave it that last shot, you gave it your best. It wasn't enough because two people have to work at a relationship equally, and if they're not, then at that point, you know what I mean, you did your best, nobody could fault you, and it's time to head on your own. Does that make sense, my darling? I hope it helps, Shannon. I really, really do. I feel for you, my love, but I think you've got to make, as Patricia said, it feels like you've probably made that decision. I didn't read the chat, so I didn't see that, you know, you'd left and then gone back. You've given that last shot. That's all that anybody can ask. So yeah, I wish you nothing but the very best, my darling. I really, really, really do. I hope, above all else, that whatever direction your journey goes in from here, I hope that you find the strength, peace, happiness that you're looking for, and I hope that you know, you move forward in a way that is right for all of you concerned. I really do, my darling. Thank you very much. Listen, please do let us keep us abreast of how it goes. We're nosy buggers over here on this channel, but we do also, there's a lot of care and compassion for people over here, and genuinely, I think if you were to pop in the live chat at some point and just give a little update of where you're getting on, I'm sure that some of the viewers, the subscribers, the mods and the members would all be very appreciative, just to let us know that you're okay and that things are going okay for you, and everybody involved. But there you go, everyone. I am going to call it a day here. It is, oh god, it's 20 past 8, so I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back next week with the normal 2 hours. So yeah, we'll be back to a semblance of routine at some point soon, and then hopefully in the new year, if not sooner, we'll be going back to Tuesday streams as well. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much to the members, thank you so much to the moderators, thank you to the regulars here. Dormouse, love you to bits. Melinda, love you to bits. The mods, my god, I couldn't do this without the mods. You're all so amazing. You know how I think of all of you. So yes, thank you everybody for joining me here tonight. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for bringing this channel to 1,500 subscribers and growing. That is beyond amazing. I will do, when I can get my head around it and sort some bits out, I will do a subscriber giveaway, because that is friggin' awesome. So yay, thank you so much, and I will be back next Sunday with more of the same. So as I always say on this channel, whatever else you are doing in life, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and of course I will catch you next time. And yeah, thank you very much for being here. I will see you next Sunday. Bye bye.
Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks and more. Just click on Join for more information. Thank you to all our members.